Good evening. So excited to be here. I'm going to share a few positives and negatives I'm finding with my river cruise. Mostly positive. Um, yeah, it's actually mostly positive. And really, the things that I'm finding that I would want to change aren't necessarily negatives. They're just my personality and how I roll. So, my first thing is people. There's a lot of people, and it's not even a very big cruise, right? Normally, there's only about 160 people. Um, But the nice thing is, it's easy to get away if you have a balcony. You can just come and hang out on your balcony and chill. And I highly recommend having a balcony. If you are definitely the type of person that needs to get away to recharge, because then at least you can come in here and hang out and get away from people and have some quiet time, have some downtime. So, that being said, the positive is having the balcony. Um, I don't know if I could ever cruise, whether it be ocean or river, without having this space to come and have my coffee in the morning or come and read my book in the afternoon if we're doing an afternoon sailing. Today we had excursions from 10 till about 4. Um, we would have liked to have had more time. Uh, that was one of the kind of the negatives is we don't feel like we have enough time in port. And we were told by the cruise director that they don't do more than 6 hours on their excursions. So that makes sense. Probably because the demographic of people, maybe. Um, this being our first one, didn't realize that we had such short time. So we did find that out. And after doing some research, there are new off season routes that you can do now with AMA that will give you more time in port, a little bit slower pace with more time to hang out, which I would really like to do because I feel like both days now in Heidelberg and Rudesheim, feel like we didn't have enough time to do what we wanted to do. And I'm like, oh, I'll have to come back. And I don't want to be on my vacation and then have to come back, right? So I'm learning a lot. And that's why I'm here. So I can bring back to you guys what to do and not do. I've also done some research. And if you want to not have a lot of bus time, there's other rivers you want to do that don't have so much bus time because we are having to like be bussed to where we want to have the excursion and then we were bussed back. And it does tell you on the daily little, I don't remember what they call it. Every day, every evening, we get to find out the next day what the excursions are, how much bus time you're going to have, how much energy you need to exert, etc. And there was a little bit of a change. We got to do the planned excursions. We just didn't stay in the same port we originally were supposed to because of river levels. Side note, you have to be flexible. I'll come back to that. So if you don't want to be bussed in your group, which Alma does a very good job on doing the groups, I will give them that. You have the 3 different levels of activity, exertion for your excursions. Um, but you're all bussed together to and from the excursion location. So it was a little bit chaotic today. It's high season. There was our ship. Viking had a bunch of, I think there was probably 2 or 3 Asian tours going on, meaning they were specific for Asian travelers. And so our excursion today at the Heidelberg Castle was very busy. Um, but I'm high season, so of course that's going to be a thing, and I understand that. But the busing to and from, it's a kind of a lot of time being spent transporting when I'd rather be wandering around the town. So maybe going into your river cruise knowing that you're not going to have as much time as you thought you would. It's more of way to figure out where you want to come back to. And if you go into it with that mindset, a little bit easier. Not everybody has the benefit of just going on vacation every year or going back to places. Because I honestly, the other part of me is I don't want to go back to a place I've already been when there's so many other places I still want to go. So maybe that's not something not something I want to do. So all that to say, the busing, if you're not a fan of busing, then I would say the Rhine probably isn't the river for you. Doing some research in some groups, um, the Rhone is good. The Seine is good, and so is the Danube or the Douro. Danube, yeah. So what are the positives? One big, really large positive: not having to change my room when I'm going from point A to point B, staying in the same room the whole time. That I love because we've been on vacations where we changed cities like we're doing now, but we've also changed hotels. And we've like taken the ferry, or not the ferry, we've taken a train from point A to point B to point C. And so that has been really nice, not having to unpack and repack and all the things. So that is the benefit. And that's really big. It's not taking a ton of energy to move around and get on trains and planes and or rent a car and go from all these different places. So it's giving us a taste of all these different port places that we're stopping, but we're coming back to the ship. And the meals I don't have to worry about because it's already been decided for me what I'm going to have. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You just go down and you pick. And I mean, there's obviously more than one or two items to pick from, but it's all included. So I don't have to think about it. We have made a point of eating on the ship every day. Today we did not, but because of the issue with the river levels and having to park somewhere differently, put the ship somewhere differently, they gave us money for lunch. So we ate out and didn't even have to actually pay for it anyway. And that isn't even from a financial point. It's just like, hey, we've paid already for this river cruise. We don't really necessarily want to pay extra to eat out every day as well, especially when it's included. So there was that. So that's a huge positive. And if you want a slower pace, I would suggest doing the cityscapes that are starting with AMAWaterways this fall. They are in the off season, so they stay in port longer, not nearly as busy. I will say that we have not traveled in the high season in a very long time, and it'll probably be a long time before we do again. Um, the weather hasn't been bothering us too much because we're living in Alabama now, so we're used to the heat. There was a couple on the ship from Seattle, and they're not super comfortable with the heat, and it's only going to get warmer tomorrow. But it's just busy. There's people, a lot of people, a lot of travelers, a lot of people are still coming to Europe and hanging out. Rightly, I mean, I get it. I love coming to Europe to hang out. So if you don't want to be in the high season, I suggest the cityscapes. Um, so that's going to be a great way to see everything without rushing, because I do feel like we've been a little bit rushed. Um, I just want to be able to hang out, and that's not something that you do on river cruises. I maybe the 14-day cruises do go slower with what they're seeing. I'd have to pay attention and look at one of those itineraries. And I do see I think it was the Mekong is also slower. So they don't have to cover as much ground. So that might be why. So I really, so many positives, way more positives than the negatives. One of the ones that did stand out was the busing. Can overcome that. Take a different route. Um, the food's been amazing. The service has been amazing. The pool has been amazing. The relaxation options have been amazing when we've been in port, or not, or when we're sailing. Um, it's all been amazing. The customer service with Alma has been amazing. So, those are just things that stood out to me, um, when it comes to positives and negatives. I want to touch on really quick the excursions. And so if that's something you want to do, go on a cruise line that doesn't include your excursions because you just want to go get lost and do your own thing. It's possible to do that. Um, Otherwise, the excursions are included with AMA. The drinks, they include all of your sodas and teas and coffee are all included all day long. Beer and wine are with lunch and dinner. And then they have a sip and sail from 6 to 7 usually. And you get a drink of the night is included in that. Your beer and wine are included in that. And then you can always grab another glass of wine at dinner and take it back upstairs with you if you want to. Um, we've had no issues. And they do have a full bar. If you want to have more premium drinks, you're welcome to pay for those. We have not had the need to. We've had plenty of wine and beer provided without an extra cost. So it's not been a problem for us. We're on a wine cruise. Like this was a specific wine cruise. There's a winery and a big group of people that are on this one. And then they also provided wine tonight, different wines with each part of the dinner and the dessert and whatnot, pairings. And that was really lovely. Again, I'm not a huge wine drinker, but that was really nice. I think he was from California. And most of the people that came with that group came because he was here. So that was kind of cool. If wine is your thing. So I think that pretty much wraps up the positives and negatives of river cruising. So honestly, not very many negatives. And I can say that, I mean, if that's all I can find, I mean, why not go on a river cruise? It's been great memories. Friendships have been made. Yeah, it's just been a really great time. So if you want more information, let's do a discovery call. We can chat about what interests you, and then I can pair you with the right cruise for you. Thanks for watching.